but they have Sunder, so I quickly switch into Isia, utilize my skill to secure this Alpha Keeper core. Hey, how's it going guys? This is Rolling Origami and we're back today with another Catalyst Black video. So recently there has been an update to Catalyst Black, I think on the test flight. But the test flight patch notes actually seem to be the same as 0.3, so I won't be surprised that this update is more of a maybe visual improvement and maybe bug fixes, because I don't seem to be able to identify anything else that's much different from 0.3. And the devs didn't put up anything on their social media, so I'm assuming this is just a bug fix update. I think the only thing I noticed from the front page is that the well-rested bar looks a bit more defined. I won't be surprised if we see other visual improvements throughout the game, but I think that is mainly it for the update. So today I'm going to go through one of the replays for one of my games. It's a core rush game, and more importantly on how effectively controlling the game flow and the objectives can help you win even though there may be a very strong or oppressive player on the other team. I think one of the things we struggle with in Catalyst Black at the moment is that some players may be really good at the game, or their loadouts are at a very high level and they're just dominating with maybe like a 40 kill 0 death kind of KDA, and your team may just find it hard to complete objectives. In this replay I will show you what you kind of have to do, especially in core rush, to be able to win the game despite not having the best player on your team. Just one more thing before I forget, I want to provide you an update on my loadout. For those of you who've watched my previous video on the loadout I'm using, I've made a small tiny change to it, and that is my heavy weapon. Currently I'm using the Miser, which is the heavy flak weapon. The main reason for this switch was because that I started to realize that I still couldn't actually beat very strong players who were using the shotgun because of how fast they could deal damage the moment I see them, and for example we are within close range, right? There is no way for me to out damage them with the Hailstorm, so I decided to make the change to the Miser, which I felt was the only weapon I had that allowed me to out damage these shotgun users. However, I feel that the Hailstorm as a whole is a better weapon and better complements the battle rifle that I'm using. I'm only making this switch because I don't want to be hard countered by a guy playing shotgun, so I wanted to be able to respond to that. I still think this heavy mortar Maelstrom does more work against keepers, enemy team players including chain gun users, and I might make the switch back anytime soon, but for the replay that we're going to see up next, just note that I'm using the Miser instead. With that, let's watch the replay of this core rush match. So you can see I joined this core rush match with my team actually losing 2-5. I'm trying to go after the outpost right now. We're trying to capture the outpost, and also because I want to be able to get the cooldown reduction on my primal form. And you can see I just get annihilated here with the heavy mortar. So it's not looking too good for us. They get another core, but at least we got the outpost this time. We get another core as well, 3-6. And I get annihilated by this guy called Cloud. And I take a look at the scoreboard and you can see he's leading by a very big margin at 24 kills. So I know this isn't going to be an easy match. You can see I'm going towards the Alpha Keeper, but then I get distracted here because my primal form is still at a 70-second cooldown. and I really need to be getting that down to 0 and getting my primal form ready before I take on the Alpha Keeper. And that's why I really recommend that you guys grind out Isia in the previous video, because Isia is really crucial in getting objectives, especially in Core Rush when you're talking about the Alpha Keeper, which has 3 points. So my primal form cooldown is ready, and you can see Claude is right there protecting the Alpha Keeper core. He gets into his Isia first, which means I have an advantage because his skill will end earlier than mine, and you can see that works in my favor. I use my skill, he takes a load of damage and is forced out of the circle. So we get the Alpha core here and we're back 6-6. So you realize that when you're playing Core Rush, the most important thing to keep in mind is to have your primal up for specifically the Alpha Keeper to be able to secure those 3 points. You can see Claude takes me out again because his chain gun is really strong, and I probably should be using the heavy mortar against him, but I've switched to the flak. And he nearly takes me out again here. So if you realize the pattern for Core Rush, what usually happens is you have 3 keepers, regular keepers that give you 1 point each. After those 3 keepers are slain and the cores collected, then the Alpha Keeper usually is spawned, and getting the Alpha Keeper's core gives you 3 points. So effectively, the most efficient way, if you want to put it that way, to go about the game is to make sure that you capture the Alpha Keepers, because even if your opponent captures all 3 of the regular keepers, they get 3 points. You capture 1 Alpha Keeper, you also get 3 points. You can see our opponent's team is going after the regular keepers again. I'm not being too concerned with the keepers. I actually want the outpost to secure a better position for us when the Alpha Keepers spawn. Unfortunately, I keep dying to the opponent's team. But what's more important for me here is to try to reduce my primal cooldown, so I'm trying to go after this Wild Slinger. I'm not doing too well in avoiding the attacks, but I get the cooldown reduction and my primal is up. Claude actually goes for his primal to protect the outpost, which I see as an advantage even though he kills me right here, because it means that the best player on the opponent's team doesn't have his primal up for the Alpha Keeper, and so I'm heading straight there. I'm sorry, I take out this guy who is AFK, which feels really bad, but I don't want him jumping back into the fight later on. You can see Claude with his insane chain gun taking me out here again. and the score is 6-9 because the opponent's team took all 3 of the regular keepers earlier. We take the outpost, which is great. The Alpha Keeper's core is being collected by the opponent's team right now. But they have Sunder, so I quickly switch into Isia, utilize my skill to secure this Alpha Keeper core. So you can see here, while it looks like we've been losing pretty much the whole game, we're actually back neck and neck, 9-9, just because of securing the Alpha Keeper. Being focused on capturing the Alpha Keeper's core instead of chasing the regular keepers all around the map, and also saving our primal specifically for the Alpha Keeper. So I'm going after the Wild Slinger again to try to get my cooldown reduced, but you can see I'm not a very good player dying to neutral creeps. Luckily we spawn nearby and I'm going back for the same guy. This time our allies actually collected the regular keeper, which I'm fine with because my own objective is that I want to capture the Alpha Keeper and I want to secure the Alpha Keeper. But them collecting the regular keepers is also going to prove very useful for us. You can see Claude actually utilizes his primal form early again, which makes me want to rush out these 3 keepers and then go for the Alpha Keeper as soon as possible before his cooldown can be resetted. Lumia helps me take out Claude here, and then we're going to rush for the Alpha Keeper right now with my primal form Isia ready to go. And we're at 12-9 because somehow my team took out all 3 of the regular keepers. Even if they had not, we would still be at an advantage, or at least neck and neck. By capturing this Alpha Keeper, you can see the opponent team actually doesn't come and contest this, but even if they did, that is what I would have done. And that is how you win. You can see that Claude has been a very oppressive player with 50 kills, 11 deaths, with gold medals in a lot of his departments, but because we are able to focus on the objectives, we are still able to close out the win, even though our team may not be as good in the KDA department, but we're still able to focus on the various objectives and take the win. So those are the key things to note when you're playing Core Rush and you want to win. It doesn't matter if you're losing and the opponent has some really good players. Of course, it makes things a little harder, but you can definitely still steal the win with some clever gameplay and knowing what to do at the right time of the match. Great game by Claude. I won't be surprised if he actually doesn't care about winning. Maybe he's completed his 15 wins a week. Maybe he's just after EXP for his weapons and his loadout. Still a great player, but you don't have to be intimidated by these great players. You can still steal the win. So I hope you've learned something from this video that will help you improve your gameplay, especially for Core Rush. That's all I have for today. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and actually drop a like. Let me know down in the comment section what else you would like to see on this channel. For those of you not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button with the notification bell to be updated whenever I drop new content. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye.